Welcome to FryAI. Let's jump right into the news. First up, we have humanity at risk from AI. Race to the bottom, say tech experts. So basically, this expert, Max Tegmark, a professor of physics and AI research at MIT, is heeding this warning for all of AI. Basically, he's concerned that the power of AI is in a handful of companies. For example, he says that a handful of tech companies are jeopardizing humanity's future through unrestrained AI development and must stop their race to the bottom. He goes on to say, we're witnessing a race to the bottom that must be stopped. We urgently need AI safety standards so that this transforms into a race to the top. Basically, he's just calling for government regulation. He calls for government regulation to be allowed to halt development of powerful models. So if they see a powerful model like, say, ChatGPT from OpenAI that gets too out of control, the government can come in and shut them down. They can do the same thing with Claude, Llama 2, anything like that. So he wants the government to be able to shut things down if they see that it's out of control. And then they go on to say here, there are companies planning to train models with 100 times more computation than today's state-of-the-art models within 18 months. So their point is that right now AI is very powerful. It can do a lot of things, as most people know out there. But right now people are training these models to do 100 times more powerful things. And that can all be done in the next 18 months, which is very scary, and that should be regulated. That's their point. They go on to say governments must be prepared to license their development and pause development in response to worrying capabilities. Mandate access controls and require information security measures robust to state-level hackers. That's fine and dandy. You know, yes, the government should probably regulate things, but who in the government has control of the regulation? I mean, is it some guy that gets elected and everyone thinks he's an AI expert, but he really doesn't know that much about it, and he just gets into office based on popularity, and then he decides what AI should be put into the wild, what AI should be shut down? I don't know, it's hard. I have mixed feelings on regulation, because part of it, I feel like that the more you unleash the AI, maybe the better it is, because it's gonna sort of, there'll be tools out there that will regulate it on its own. Just like the story we featured yesterday about the poisoning AI models. Like, there's gonna be open source projects that sort of try to stifle AI innovation. So that's a form of regulation right there. And it's more of a democratic and open regulation than having the government come in and shut things down. Because, you know, most of the time, the government screws things up. We all need government, but a lot of the times it's overreaching and it messes things up. I mean, just look around the United States. Government can be far-reaching and just is meddling way too much into things. So that's my take on it. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but maybe we need to let AI bloom itself, because these problems are going to come up whether the government regulates them or not. They could be on the dark web, or they're going to slip through the cracks. There's only so much regulation you can do. Next up, Google. Ton of security stories today for some reason. Google adds generative AI threats to its bug bounty program. Again, security threats are a big concern, and Google's doing this because of those threats. So Google has a program in place called VRP, and that rewards people for pointing out bugs in Google's code. So Google's just saying, we're gonna extend that to generative AI. If you find bugs in generative AI and they are a serious threat to people's livelihoods, we will pay developers or hackers to find those threats for us. Google also has a AI Red Team. It's a group of their own hackers that simulate various adversaries. So like nation states like North Korea, they sort of simulate those hackers. They're also looking for prompt injection attacks. So prompt injection attack is if you're typing in something to ChatGPT and a nefarious actor inserts code without you knowing it into your prompt. So say if you're prompting ChatGPT for, give me a research paper on World War II, well, something could inject into your prompt something not about World War II, something completely different, and then it answers the prompt without you knowing that that injection was in there. So you're getting the story you think is about World War II, but it's really being altered without you knowing it, and you're reading that story without knowing that it's been altered. So those are prompt injection attacks. It's looking for the hackers to find those type of thing. Another one is training data extraction. That allows hackers to reconstruct verbatim training examples to extract personally identified information or passwords from the data. So for that type of thing, those attacks are trying to get people to give data, like, they've got password security questions, to try to get those out of people. So it might ask you, like, what's your teacher from 3rd grade, without you knowing it, by using AI to get you to answer, to trick you to answer those type of questions without you knowing it. So things like that. That's what this program's for. We'll see how it goes. I think it's a good thing to have these kind of contests in place, because one of the reasons why hackers exist is because they want money, right? They want money, and hacking something's the easy way to do it. Well, this gives the bad guys another option. They can go on here and find vulnerabilities in code and get paid and do the right thing instead of the wrong thing. Finally tonight, this is a cool story. It's kind of a depressing day in news about all the security for AI, but the Beatles are going to be releasing a new song called Now and Then. They did not want to release it before because John Lennon is no longer with us and they couldn't edit the song properly. So come to find out, they found AI does a pretty dang good job editing old tracks. They were able to get John Lennon's voice to sound great in this new song, so they will be releasing it. So for example, Paul McCartney said, "There it was, John's voice, crystal clear, quite emotional, and we all play on it. It's a genuine Beatles recording." So imagine like Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr sitting there and they're editing this song and they hear Paul McCartney's voice crystal clear. I mean, that's got to be pretty emotional for them, which is really neat. And that goes into a whole black hole we won't get into too deep, but talking with the dead, that is a thing. I think it's going to be a bigger thing down the road, but you'll be able to recreate your past family members or friends and talk to them if you upload their voice data and maybe text data to an LLM, and it will train that LLM to talk like someone that's passed away, and you can like have real conversations with them. So it brings up a whole AI ethics issue, but it's going to be a wild, wild time to come in wild world to see how that all plays out. So they go on to say how it works. Basically, they extricate Lennon's voice from a cassette recording. We were able to take John's voice and get it pure through this AI, and then we can mix the record as you would normally do. It gives you some sort of leeway. Also in the article, which is very important, is they said they did not alter John Lennon's voice in any way, shape, or form. It's not AI generated. They just used it for the editing, which would have been impossible without AI. So it just made the editing way smarter. It's really exciting because this song has been around for a long time, and it's just being released soon. It's actually going to be released in a documentary that premieres on November 1st at 7:30 p.m. GMT. So that'll be exciting to keep your eye. Now, for the tool today, it's been around for a while. AutoGPT, it's more of a techie type tool right now. Basically what it lets you do is it lets you create autonomous bots that think for you. So if you want to have a bot order a pizza for you, you could do it here as well. So basically how it would work is, we'll go into their website first. That was the GitHub page, but this is just their website. It's going to get nicer. You'll be able to use their website in the coming months. But right now, everything's hosted on GitHub, and this is more of a developer tool right now. You need the command prompt, like something like this right here, to be able to use it. And it is tricky to install, but I just wanted to point it out because it's going to be something that you're going to see more and more of, these autonomous agents. So again, back to that pizza example, you could type in, "I want a pepperoni pizza, please deliver it within an hour." And that's all you have to do. It's going to be able to know where you live. It's going to make the order to the best pizza place around you based on ratings for the most part. And it's going to deliver it to your house. It will have all your credit cards stored for you if you want. All you have to do is enter one sentence. "I want a pepperoni pizza, a large pepperoni pizza, deliver it within an hour." And boom, there you go. You don't have to call anyone, go on, a website or anything like that. Very neat. That's just one small example. You could also use it to perform tasks for you. You could have a to-do list. Find 10 pictures that I can reuse on the web of waterfall. And it will go find those on the web for you and do whatever you want with them. You could say, "Find me those 10 pictures, then email so-and-so these 10 pictures," or put them on Discord, put them on Slack, do whatever you want, upload to your computer. The point of it is these agents, you sort of put a bunch of different agents together and it makes them more powerful as a whole. So you have all these agents work for you. Very cool tool. The neatest thing about this, to be honest, is on GitHub. If you're not familiar with GitHub, it stores open source projects for the most part, the actual code behind them. And there's these star ratings right here of these projects. And this project, AutoGPT, has 152,000 stars. Now, I don't know if you know what Node.js is, but it's a programming language, one of the most popular ones. And it's been around for a while, like or I think probably like 15 years, something like that. Let's see what Node.js has for stars. It only has 100,000 stars, right? And AutoGPT has only been around for, I think, less than a year, around there. So this project is on fire with developers, gaining a lot of traction. And if this project doesn't win out, something like it will. These auto agents, there's a ton of projects out there. Super Agent is another one. Baby AGI is another one. There's a lot of them out there. One of these is going to gain traction, and pretty soon you'll be able to use it very easily on their website. Once that happens, things will really take off, and one of these is going to catch on, and it will really improve your life. That's it for tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, we try and improve this every day via editing, via speaking clearly, via getting you the great tools and news. And that's my goal, to improve this every day. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful and great weekend. We appreciate every single viewer. We'll see you next week. This is Ryan signing out. Please subscribe to our email newsletter at fry-ai.com/subscribe. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.